Assalamu alaikum, good evening. This is NTV Europe. I'm your host, Syed Neaz Ahmad, from the studios of Talking Points, our weekly talk show. In our studios today, we have Dr. Firoz Mahboob Kamal. He's a medical doctor, but observes things that go around in the world. Today we are going to talk about India, Iran, Turkey, Trump, Burma, Bangladesh, and many other interesting things that are going around the world. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me to your
Thank
show.
you for coming along. Far away from Bangladesh, see, our hearts are so close to the affairs of Bangladesh that anything that happens influences us, affects us, impacts on us. As if Rohingya was not enough, the topic, and the refugees coming over to Bangladesh. Now we understand that India is getting ready to send us some 4 million supposed to be Bengali-speaking migrants who have been living there, they say, illegally. What do you think of the situation now? I mean, can we really handle this double whammy? The information minister of Bangladesh said that recently, that India has not told us officially anything about that. But do we really need an official information coming through the official lines? See, this has been talked about. They have not included some 4 million people in the citizenship register, NCR, they call it National Citizenship Register. And people have been talking about, including the West Bengal, or rather Bengal now, Bangla state Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, that this is a very serious issue. This has been politicized, the whole issue. And there could be, these are her words, there could be a civil war. How do you see this?
Actually, it's a very critical matter for the Muslims. Not only the Muslims of India, Muslims of Bengal. And as you mentioned that our information minister, Bangladesh, he claimed that so far India hasn't told us formally, but India has told has expressed their policy so loudly, it doesn't need to be told officially. So Indian policy is quite clear. And look, if we look at Mamata Banerjee, the West Bengal or Bengal Chief Minister, she has reacted very forcefully, in fact, against the policy of Indian government, or Assam government, you can say. But what Assam government is doing, in fact, it is the reflection of Indian central government, because both in Assam and India, the same party is ruling. So what Assam is telling, Assam government is telling, that reflects the central policy of Indian government.
What is the reason behind all this? I mean, why suddenly this has come up?
It's a very good question.
This is actually a very old problem.
Actually, if you read the Indian media, if you watch the Indian media, you read the Indian newspapers, you will find the reason. Actually, more than about 200 million Muslims live in India, and this huge number of Muslims in India, it has become a nightmare for the Hindu fundamentalists or extremists, like BJP people. They can't tolerate that, how they don't know how to manage this huge Muslim population in India. So now they're trying how to reduce this population by evicting them for neighboring countries. Sometimes they even they start communal riots with an impression by that means they can reduce the Muslim population. But this is not going to work.
But this doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. Rather, it happens in the other way. Because actually this policy is failing. Because if you if you look at the demographic changes in the country, in different countries, where the mortality rate is high, population growth rate is quite high. Because the Muslim people, they are thinking their children may not survive next year because, you see, because of this communal riots, so many things, eviction.
And Muslim population has gone up in India.
Exactly, because of these reasons, the atrocities against the Muslims. You see, if you look at Bangladesh, you see the coastal areas where the cyclones visits more frequently, the population rise is high there, is higher there. The same thing in India, where the more communal riots are happening, so the population going up in those areas. So Indian policy is not working. Now the 4 million people, these people, they are living in India. Even the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, she has clearly told that these people are born in India, they are Indians. Now they are made refugees inside India. So such one of the prominent Indian politician, she is recognizing the fact that these people are born in India, they are legally Indians, now they are trying to push the same policy that Myanmar government has
Yes, exactly.
exactly the same policy. What the Myanmar government has
the same question of nationality. See?
Yeah.
You are not on the national register,
Yeah.
so you have to go somewhere else. See, and that somewhere else is Bangladesh.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so the Myanmar government, they are also, they can't tolerate such a huge Muslim population in one area, very strategic area. In fact, that Arakan, that means Rakhine state.
Yes.
Rakhine state, they have got oil field,
Other mineral resources.
other mineral resources, and very cultivable land. So in that strategic area, the most of the people are Muslims, though they want to evict them. The same thing in Assam, about 36% are Muslim. So if the Muslims population, this is another thing actually. This policy, this is two-pronged policy. One is this, they want to de-enfranchise, to take away the voting rights of these people, Muslim population. If these people have, in the 36% Muslims, if they use their voting rights, then it makes difficult for BJP people, the communal, Hindu communal people to come in power. So they want to take the voting rights. This is one thing. Firstly, probably they have now taken away the citizenship right, so they will live in some refugee camps. They will be just living there, surviving there, but will have no citizenship right.
Yeah, no right to work too.
And second phase, eviction. And eviction actually, that will be a direct clash with Bangladesh also.
They are not talking about it as yet, you see. But the situation will come when they will have to talk to Dhaka, and whether Dhaka would respond in whichever way, we do not know as yet. As the information minister said that we have not received the official information that they are going to evict. But Myanmar and Yangon did not inform us that we are going to evict 97,000 or 100,000 people, you see. So these things can take a very bad turn. And who knows what will be the economic impact, the political impact on the relationship between the two countries.
That will affect the relationship, of course, because most of the Bengali people, they do not like that. They may have some people, those who are their political client, they are very much dependent on India, so they may accept it, they may swallow this political decision of India, but majority people, they will not like it. So there will be big political repercussion in Bangladesh. You can understand that.
Is there any external pressure on India, do you think, to evict these people, or it's just the internal policy? Because they say that China is the biggest brother, not just big brother there in the region. China is the biggest brother. See, China wanted, probably this is said, that China wants a straight route to the warm waters through Myanmar. See, that's what China is doing through Pakistan to the Arabian Sea. Indian Ocean.
Now actually we are having a world where there is no rule of law. So now anarchy is a global phenomenon. You can see that is, if we suppose what is happening in Syria, what is happening in Yemen, people are being killed, bombed, massacred, cities are blown up, nobody is bothering. So there is no rule. Oh, so the anarchy
war is good business.
You see, anarchy has actually overwhelmed the whole world. So that is a big problem nowadays. And so what Myanmar government is doing, nobody is doing anything in fact. Nobody is just, you can say, verbal condemnation, but nobody is doing anything to undo these things. So you look at about 1 million people, they have been evicted from Rakhine state. You see, their villages are burned down. Recently, there was a research publication by one of the Canadian NGO, and the research paper was present in Oxford University. 24,000 people are killed since August 25th of August 2017. You see, 24,000 people are killed, 18,000 women are raped, and more than 1,000 villages are, you say, we can say razed to the ground. So who has protested against that? Just raised some voice, but Myanmar government is not bothering. It doesn't take seriously that protest seriously. Even those who are condemning these things, they are doing business in Myanmar government. You see? And India deploying the same policy against the Assamese Muslims. You see, now China is doing the same policy against the Uyghur Muslims. So there is no rule of law against the Muslims. You see, there are so many countries taking the same policy. Look what happened in Philippines. The Muslim people, there's the Muslim cities in southern Philippines razed to ground. Thousands and thousands of people are killed. So who protested? Nobody. So there is anarchy now ruling over the Muslim world. See, look at what happened in Mosul. Whole city is razed to the ground. You see, America was there, was a part of destruction, but not a part of construction. American government didn't spend a single penny to construct there. They didn't lay even a single brick to build a Muslim house there. So there are so many partners in doing the destruction, but very few to do the construction. That is a big problem for the Muslim.
But war is a big business, because
that's true.
A war cannot take place without armaments, see. And the arms manufacturing companies and countries, they benefit from every flashpoint, every skirmish, every boundary firing. So war is big business, you see, and as long as it remains a business protected by the developed countries, they will find a new place to have a war. New skirmish will become a flashpoint. There will be firing across the border. People will be dying. And when one shot is fired from a gun, it costs money. See?
And another point, you see, it is very easy to sell the weapons.
Yeah.
The hot market. If you have some products, other products, you have to search the market.
You have to create a market.
You have to create a market. So many embargo, then taxation, all these things. But if you have high valued weapon, say very the killing power is quite high, then you have good market. People will be paying you, begging you for the weapons. That's the thing. What is happening in Yemen? The Saudi Arab people, they are paying billions and billions to buy the American weapons, British weapons. You see, so if you have weapons, then you have good business.
Okay, we'll come back to all this horrifying as well as hopefully peaceful solutions to the war situation. But before that, we take a break, okay? Thank you for being with us. We'll be back soon after this break. Thank you.
Now.